Hello. If you're wondering where the other two knuckleheads are at, there's one of them. But today is a different day, a different kind of day. Today, as he just walks on by, is today. Yep. Really? Okay. Cody is at work. Booth is here. But I will be the star of the show, the main attraction, the awesome guy. Because today is one-man stories. One man. One story. Many voices. Now, let's get to it. Hello, I'm the narrator. Today we're going to be reading a gem that I found in the bottom of a barrel at a pawn shop. I don't know who wrote it. There's something scribbled on the cover and it says Oth. I don't know if that's a first name, last name, middle name, whatever. Ow. Anyway, who the hell knows? So expect interruptions. I do like to comment on things a lot. I'm a narrator. We have feelings too, don't we? Okay. Without further ado, Chapter 1. We start. A detective's tale. I was the best detective this town had ever seen. Just a simple man, born to fight crime and bring justice to the quiet town of Towny No Name. I saw myself as the justice that this little town needed, but not the one it deserved. But I was more than that, though. My tale isn't a short one, but in fact one that started many years ago. I was a new agent on Towny No Name's detective department. My lead detective was Searchy Find Clues. My name is Gimpy One Foot. Here's my story. The rain poured down on the town of Towny No Name. Relentless in its torrent over the buildings of the small town, the black and white filter that would make the town look old-timey was having issues keeping up with the rain, so we didn't do that. Sorry. But editors can fix that, right? Anyway, the rain picked up speed in the town, and our detective was working a case on streety named Place Ave. It seemed the perp took a chainsaw and threw it at the poor bastard's ass, Gimpy One Foot said, confident in his deduction.
You look at things too literally.
His mentor, Searchy Find Clues, said.
You got to look at the deepest part of the scene to figure out what's truly going on.
Gimpy looked at his mentor with a feeling of awe. To him, Searchy was a god in men's clothing, the white horse to his knight, the axe to his lumberjack, the butter on his pancakes. Or waffles, because it's a very heated debate, but that's besides the point. Gimpy observed the stiff body again, looking deeply at the lacerations. A little too deep, since his nose was practically touching the body.
Get away from that, Gimpy. This is one of the problems we discussed,
said Searchy Find Clues. Gimpy does a monologue here, just a fair warning. I wasn't always Gimpy One Foot, you know. I used to be Walkie 2 Feet. I was an average, everyday man working on a great invention. Butter-infused pancakes with bacon bits in the batter. I was gonna market the hell out of this stuff. But Lady Fate had another plan for me. When I opened the first factory to market these delectable delicacies of delicious deliciousness, I met my arch nemesis by the name of Skippy 3 Feet. End of monologue. Let's do a flashback sequence. I love flashback sequences. I've always wanted to do one. So imagine in the middle of the screen, there's a little spiral thing, and it's going whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Transition. Flashback. Chapter 2. 1922 Electric Boogaloo. The year is 1922, long before the woes of the Bush administration, and when it was okay to be a racist ho-dunk town. This is all a bunch of exposition to keep you guys from getting offended if Walkie or his pals say anything racist or something. That probably won't happen, though. Walkie was walking to his factory, shocker, when he had just come up with the neatest damn invention ever because he was hungry. Somehow he convinced the real actual contractors to build this factory to produce butter-infused pancakes with bacon bits in the batter. Or BIBBPs for short. Because that works, right, for an acronym? Well, either way, the guy was walking to his factory to do his business and go home, chill with his kids and wife and children, and maybe have a beer. When suddenly he noticed another factory was being built, he decided to see what all the hubbub was about. Because obviously he didn't have a business to run or something. Hey, what in the Sam hell do you think you're doing? You wrecked in a factory next to mine. You get the proper license and regulations? Walkie said, sounding rather irritated in that someone would dare build a factory next to his in the industrial zone of Towny No Name.
Yes, sir. Go away,
said the strange man who seemed angry at Walkie for no reason in particular. Well, that was not very nice and no reason in particular, Walkie said, stating the obvious out loud and getting laughed at it.
Yes, sir. Go away. Also, my name is Gimpy 3 Feet. Because I have 3 feet. It's a terrible deformity. And I don't like to discuss it.
Skippy said, unaware that Walkie had an ingenious questioning ability of a detective. Hey, why you got the 3 feet? That's some kind of deformity? Said Walkie, using his genius detective skills to detect a problem.
Yes. You're a genius. Now get the hell away from my factory before I have to force you away.
Skippy said rudely for reasons. Just like you, Granny, I'm gonna call you my arch nemesis. Walkie said, oh, sorry, woo, mixing voices here. Walkie said as he walked back to his factory. He had a deeper monologue about himself, some backstory, sad alcoholic, he seems alcoholic. His mother was distant, dad didn't love him, very sad. It takes like 7 pages, so fuck that. I don't have time for this. I have places to be, people to see. I have a life. So basically I summed it up for you. He's very sad, blah, blah, blah. You can't ask me. This is my life. I don't want to read it. Like, don't look at me like that. I've been through a lot, okay? Let's move on. I just gotta skim through, find the good stuff. Where are the meat and potatoes of this damn story? I think I need that. Hold on. Oh, it's right here. Meat and potatoes. The chapter's called Meat and Potatoes. Look at that. Chapter 20. Meat and potatoes. Hell yeah, I'll do it to that steak, said Walkie, staring off in the distance in the town he lived in. What will you have on the side? Said the woman taking his order. Her name tag read, Gertie serves food. Now, help is helping the potatoes. You can offer, said Walkie, pondering on why he existed in the town, having an existential crisis.
Alright, honey, will that be all?
She asked, looking at Walkie like he was crazy. Hey, no idea what is it, man? Walkie screamed as he pushed down Gertie. I thought he was insane before. Yeah, it's rude. Gertie looked scared for her life. She started crying tears of fear. Some random guy just attacked her. This part apparently has a megaphone. Who's skipping 3 feet? Why does he act so rude? Why I'm asking you this? Walkie shouted, confusing everyone in a mile radius since for some reason he had a megaphone stashed in his bag. No one cares about that part. Okay. Oh! Skippy 3 feet made butter-infused waffles with bacon bits in the batter of waffles.
Arch nemesis.
Skip. A sex scene! Logical. Oh, okay. Gimpy becomes Gimpy, apparently, finally. Alright. Chapter 33. View Askew. Walkie stood above the cutting machines that was for some reason placed in the factory when his arch nemesis came up from behind him.
Walkie, I've come to end this madness. You and I can't exist in this world together.
Skippy said, and suddenly lightning struck the factory. Because you can't have a fight without lightning, apparently. It's fantastic, Walkie said. Let's finish this. They stood across from each other in a true Truxican standoff. Like two Wild West sheriffs at midday. They drew their guns, which they always carried with them.
Draw!
Draw! They both shouted. Skippy, being the dick he was, shot Walkie in his good leg. The one he held his gun on, which was obviously the one he held dearest. Hey, you know that was my good leg, man. Now they're amputated because we ain't got no medicine. He shouted, cursing Skippy for the rest of his life. Wow. That's deep, if you think about it. Skippy. It's like life. Life is shooting us. In the good leg. It's like keeping our views down, man. That's deep. That's deep. Sorry, my friend introduced me to recreational drugs. Don't try that at home. I don't want to get sued for some shizzle. This is still a drivel. Just skip towards the end. Chapter 56, the finite finale. Gimpy stood over the body of the man who had been chainsawed, realizing he had been staring off in the distance at the camera for a good 5 hours, telling his story instead of working on the case. The people around him had left. Even the doctor had left. The medical examiner had picked up his bags and went home. Searchy stood there, Gimpy staring at him in a dazed confusion.
Look, Gimpy, if you're going to be a detective, you have to seriously got to stop yelling your story at every fucking crime scene.
Searchy said, anger rising in his voice. Sorry, Searchy. I just think it would be a great movie. Gimpy said, winking at the camera. They determined together that the cause of death wasn't a chainsaw to the ass, but instead a chainsaw to the skull. Because the skull was crushed and the ass was still intact, and logic was a thing. Gimpy stared off at the sky again. What is this life for? he asked Searchy.
Who knows? That's a great mystery,
said Searchy, walking away and packing up the rest of their stuff. As they drove away from the crime scene, Gimpy saw someone he'd never think to see again. The silhouette of his arch-nemesis, Skippy 3 Feet. His heart skipped a beat. He shuddered, tried not to think about what it meant. They drove away into the distance and into their next adventure. But Gimpy knew this was not the last he'd see of Skippy. Not by a long shot. Alright, we're done. Jeez, thank God it's over. There's like 7 more of these things. God, a bunch of bullshit. Who thought of this? You know, I tried to get some jokes in. Now I apologize. Hopefully I don't have to read the series again, ever. I hope you can go for some cliffhangers. Maybe I'll read the story next week. Maybe I won't. Well, I'm done narrating, so I'm gonna fade off in the distance. Like the movies. Any minute now. I'm waiting. My voice will start fading. Any minute now.